Jim Edwards came to politics in the 1960s while he was an oral surgeon in private practice in Charleston.
I'd read the paper in the mornings and read the headlines and, throw the paper on the floor and say, why doesn't somebody do something?
Jim Edwards running for governor. I want to ask you to vote for me.
We didn't have that many voters. We had, I forgot how many thousand voters in the primary, 35, 40,000 voters. And that was the first Republican primary ever. When we won the thing, I was as shocked as anyone.
For the first time in a century, a Republican governor stood on the steps of the state capitol.
He took over at a very tough time. I mean, the economy was terrible. There was a great debt, state debt, and he was determined to do something about that.
Edwards came to office with an overwhelmingly Democratic-controlled legislature. Even his lieutenant governor was a Democrat. If he was going to succeed, it would depend on his ability to get along with the legislature.
A lot of people talk about partisanship, and I think you ought to be partisan in any campaign you're in. But once you're elected, I think you ought to put partisan politics aside. Politics was never a personal thing with me. It was always a philosophical thing, and I hope I never allowed it to become personal.
Edwards left the governor's office in 1979. Within 2 years, his old friend, President Ronald Reagan, summoned him to Washington. After 2 years in Washington, Charleston called him home to become the president of the Medical University of South Carolina.